the Los Angeles Rams, who I would say are in a very different spot than they were 48 hours ago. Going into that game on Thursday night against the Vikings, it's just a difficult position for them to be in. They were 2-4, and they were looking forward at getting their receivers back over the next couple of weeks. But what was that going to look like? So Puka Nacua was coming back a week earlier than they expected. Cooper Kupp coming back from injury as well. And over the course of the week, they had received phone calls. In the last couple of weeks, they'd received phone calls on Kupp. Now, that's natural. That happens. And it's part of the receiver market being what it has been over the last few weeks with Hopkins and Cooper and Devontae Adams being moved. So the next step is, what does it mean for the Rams? Well, the Rams looked at their situation, and I don't think there was any feeling like we have to go out and shop this guy. They felt like the calls were going to come to them, which they did. And so the price tag that they gave other teams, what they asked for from other teams, was more than what the Jets gave up to get Devontae Adams. And if you look at that deal, it's a third-round pick that can become a second-round pick. So you're ostensibly looking for a second-round pick or something equating that or more. I'm not sure that the value is ever going to match up there anyway. I'm not sure other teams value Cooper Kupp based on his age, based on his injury history, based on his based on his contract at that level. And for the Rams, I mean, this is a franchise icon. This is a guy who was a hero in the Super Bowl. This is a guy who, was part of Sean McVay's first draft class in Los Angeles. This is a guy who, optically, it wouldn't look great if you traded him for less than a second round pick. So I don't know that the value is ever going to match up there. But they were open to the idea of it. And I think they're probably going to be a little less open to it now. Now they're 3-4. They get Seattle in week 9. If they are able to beat the Seahawks, they could find themselves in first place again. Now, of course, whether or not they get there is pending on what happens with Seattle tomorrow. But there's an opportunity to get back in the race, in part because of their division and in part because they beat the Vikings the other night. And I think the other thing about it is the offense looked really good with both Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua out there. Matthew Stafford naturally looked a lot better. There's just a lot of things that were really working for the Rams on Thursday night. So I think it's going to be a little harder to get Cooper Kupp out of there. Not impossible, but I think it'd be a little harder for another team to get Cooper Kupp out of there than maybe it would have been before Thursday.